all this minus armor is not going to have an amplification effect anymore. Get evasion on top of this, he can just run in and he can actually break their 5-man. So I think in late game, mid to late game and super late game, I would prefer Vici's lineup. You're gonna be able to disable people for long enough for Tiny to wreck them. The one thing that got really interesting was the Tusk though. He is also one of the best late game heroes. Counters big disables. So
I wanted to ask you about Tusk a little bit because you played it yesterday, right? Or the day before?
We played it against Vici.
Yeah.
That was the disastrous launcher game.
Yes, yes.
Tusk is a very, very strong hero. He has some of the best spells in the game. For me, very few teams actually ever understood him. I think the old DK does, or did, sorry. And I think Ice actually learned from that too. Like, he was the one playing it for Vici, and I think he also understands what this hero is about and what it can do. The Chinese teams are actually the only ones touching this hero, and some Russian teams, as far as I know. That's pretty funny. Like, usually the Chinese teams, they wouldn't have heroes that Western teams never played, you know? And this is one of them, one of those actually action-packed heroes that you can make moves with that they have that we don't have.
And we've talked about Tusk a lot of times in previous tournaments. Like, this hero seems like a hero that has one of the highest skill caps in the game with what you can actually do with Snowball if you pull it off.
Yeah.
Frozen Sigil, in my opinion, a massively underrated ability, even though it's already regarded as really good. It's like insanely good actually when you look at what it does. And for the purpose of the type of lineup that wait, who was it? It was LGD. The way they want to play this lineup, when it comes to this organized, this push timing that Notel is talking about, if they indeed don't want to go super late game, if they want to play it like the mid game 5-man type of style, then Frozen Sigil is going to be a really big problem for Tiny. It's going to be a really big problem for Spirit Breaker because there are 2 melee cores that need to go in and hit that damn thing, and they actually can't reach it, most likely. So there's some really good utility in that for LGD, I think. And then the question is how much work they can get done if they can get some nice, of course, ice shards off that set up for maybe an easy Requiem or bird drops or whatnot. There's some pretty cool synergy.
And you see already the Bounty Hunter trying to do some sneaky plays in the mid lane here. I think that's him just venturing around Yap FY, getting some scouting intel, looking for stray couriers. This is another strategy that you've done a fair bit, Notel. The Bounty Hunter, mostly against Chen and junglers, but what do you think about the position 4 or 5 Bounty Hunter?
I really think it's a good pick. Our game, it didn't work out because you have to make sure of certain things. You wanna, if you're doing the Chen matchup, you wanna have the 1v1 with Chen. You can't have like a support that's not on the leash, you know? He needs to be stuck somewhere. Yeah. Because then you get the one-on-one with Chen. But in general, a position 4 Bounty Hunter can cause so much havoc. Like right now, what he does here coming in from behind. They're probably not gonna. Oh, what the hell?
That's a bash. Needs one more.
One more. Come on, you can do it.
Maybe they'll have this for auto attacks.
Oh, it's not. They have a self. Okay.
All right. MMY just barely gets in the way there. Close call.
Look at this double wave that's happening though. This Bounty Hunter can cause so much havoc on the lanes early game, and if you're winning the lanes and you start getting pickoffs, if you're allowed to get pickoffs with this new track and the new kills in this patch, they give you so much. You're gonna get a half a dagger and 2 kills with track on a support.
Okay.
It's funny for me to look at this draft. We've like in the past there's been like this how to explain it, a way of narrowing down Dota to make it a little more basic and more digestible when it comes to strategy. Some people are talking about the rock paper scissors effect with gank, push, and turtle, right? As one counters the other, and it obviously isn't that simple, right? But this game for me is fun to watch because it really looks like the one lineup is just playing push and the one lineup is playing gank.
That is actually what's happening, yeah.
And then if the gank team fails, they will lose this game. Like I can't imagine Vici Gaming actually managing this if they don't manage to find pickups early. This time they probably will.
Here we go. First blood on the way.
Oh my god, they're gonna get both of them here.
Oh, he at level 2, so yeah, definitely dead draw ranger.
Easy peasy double kill for FY on the Bounty Hunter.
All right, that's what they needed.
There you go. What a start.
This is what they need, exactly. If this does not happen, this is not looking good for Vici at all, from my experience.
The Dazzle mid kind of punishes them. Obviously, it helps the Shadow Fiend, but if he was bottom, they could have definitely saved both of those deaths.
Did you see what happened in the LGD Secret Series with the Wisp Bristol versus YesF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is kind of resulted in that, I think. They can't leave him alone. Like, if Wisp Tiny plays good, oh, Bounty Hunter coming in from behind?
Yeah.
Nah.
Looking for straight couriers.
Dazzle Dazzle took the bottle and worked as a courier.
Respecting the bounty hunter. I like
So
that.
the question is, when they drafted this SF, what did they see from Vici at that point? They had seen Wisp, Tiny, I think, and Spirit Breaker? Or
Yes, those were the first 3.
they had seen those 3, right?
Yes.
So that makes me wonder, is, like, No-Tail, do you feel like LGD went a little bit too... We're obviously super early in the game, but do you feel like they focused a little bit too much on this whole physical damage mid-game push, and that the Shadow Fiend could have been a more self-sustainable mid-hero like a Queen of Pain that wouldn't be as easy to dominate with Wisp Tiny, or...
Yeah, I was in trouble.
So they could have moved Dazzle somewhere else, maybe.
The reason why SF looks...
Oh,
is it's a ground, still a ground courier at 350.
Oh no, he's gonna die too.
And they get,
my God.
Why is that courier not activated? Snowball forward. Dazzle comes in. He does have a grave available.
Thinking about it.
All right, they'll keep the Tusk alive, but nice courier pick.
That's really good composure
So
for FY.
look at the Shao 8 now has to go back to base. You don't. Oh, they actually ate the mango. They're gonna get him here with the ice shards. No.
Oh, maybe not. Out of sentry range. He's good.
No, Snowball. Another
right.
sentry. They're gonna get him.
7-second skill shot. All right, they know.
Okay, he's dead.
This actually gives so much now compared to the old patch.
Still, he took out 2 sentries and a courier. I think that was worth his life.
Oh, that was worth it, and made the opponents move for so long. Like this whole thing about moving back and all this. This is like they know where the Tusk and the Dazzle are. So yeah, it makes the mid lane so much easier for them. You see, SF was now forced back into the woods.
Wow, here's a fun stat. LGD is the lowest percent of first bloods at the Summit 3 of 41%. Interesting.
That's interesting, yeah.
Gust is really nice against charge.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if that would work, but wow, that's amazing.
That's very nice. So what did you think about the Shadow Fiend thing? You were about to say something and then the fight broke out.
Yeah, the reason why it looks so delicious is obviously because of Drow, range hero, minus armor, it's damage. Second of all, is he is one of the best mech heroes in the game. Can farm it, can carry it well, but he's also one of the hardest heroes to go on. So when you're wanting to do this strat that already has so much physical damage with the ability to take towers, if you're impossible to go on, how do you solve this problem? And SF just adds on to the charge on Shao 8. Shao 8 not catching a break.
Well, he
Bashes, my God!
The Bash Lord's here. He does have a shallow
He has a
grave.
shuriken though.
He can grave TP.
Oh, they almost
No
landed.
shuriken, still
No
level
shuriken.
2. Oh, he might go in for this. No.
Wisp
They
is
forced a
here.
rotation again though. Actually, the TP was cancelled.
TP was cancelled.
Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Hao doing some damage to maybe. A charge will come through. He was tethered up. He'll bottle. I think maybe he's going to be fine. They'll cancel this one.
Oh, he actually bottled and salved there.
For what reason?
Who TP'd mid?
To get bottled.
Shao 8 TP'd mid from like bottom tier 2.
Strange.
I mean, he's just camping in for potential turnaround on mid, I guess. He wants to send you for the bounty hunter too, by the looks of it. There's already a Hawk setting up for mid though. Like, Vici are definitely the aggressors in this game, putting a lot of pressure on all the lanes, forcing rotations. Charge down to mid. Shao 8, they saw Shao 8, I believe, from the charge vision.
Canceled again.
Does it get vision of the hero that it's charging? Like their vision?
Yeah, it's like
It's like
with track.
Slar ult or
It's like
whatever.
track?
Or
Okay.
track.
It's like track. So if you charge an Ice Stalker with Aghanims,
That's pretty good. Well,
This Tusk is actually getting some farm. He's
Oh,
got
so is the
15 CS.
Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster's
We
getting a
haven't-
lot of farm. We haven't seen this lane much, but
we haven't really talked about it. This is actually, correct me if I'm wrong, has this just been like a one-on-one lane up here the whole time?
Pretty
with,
much,
With the
yeah.
threat of the roaming bounty hunter coming up there once. And Super is 42 CS against the 17 of Tusk. He should win the lane with Beast for sure, but this seems like a
Sylar.
very major difference.
Gust again.
Patience there.
FY should have gone for the Shuriken animation cancel.
That would have been good.
Yeah. Is he going straight Dagon? I think he's going Dagon this game for sure, but the casual null talisman picked up by him, which is nice.
Yep.
I'm a fan of the Soul Ring though.
So what do you think LGD needs before they 5-man? They need a mech, they need level 6 on Visage, they need
6 on Drow.
6 on Drow, and I guess that's it?
That is
when
what
they have
is
that, they'll just go,
the
right?
minimum requirements. When you start getting Weave and Punch and higher levels in Ice Shard and all this, it becomes better. But I think you gotta go as early as possible. You don't want to stay spread for any longer than you have to. They're just picking up all the XP they need and all the farm they need right now to make their lineup come together.
And I think even though LGD, they got the double kill bottom for FY on Vici Gaming, and he got the courier. I still think LGD's game plan is actually working out just fine for now. Only having 2 deaths at minute 8 is pretty good, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It's good
But,
enough, at least.
I mean, it's gonna obviously speed up when this maybe potential dagger on Tiny. It looks like a drums, but when the relocate comes into play, that's when things are gonna speed up.
What do you think about drums on Tiny? I see mainly the Chinese teams get it.
I mean,
instead of fast blink.
Era still gets it.
I've been playing the Wiz Tiny with Era for a year where we did drums non-stop.
Yeah.
Like, drums is an amazing item on that guy. You have to look at your lineup and look if it's gonna need the blink on Tiny, and also look at the enemy team. But sometimes you have to look deeper than that and say, I actually need this HP. This HP is gonna win me the game. And obviously the aura is actually really big. So, nice eye shot coming in, but no punch.
Plus,
There
drum
was a punch.
attack speed was
Weird.
buffed as well in it, so 20% now for the active, so that'll help the Spirit Breaker a lot.
Got doubled.
Yeah.
And they have the aura from Beastmaster as well, so they'll have a lot of attack speed now in the fights.
Yeah, good point. Nice.
It might
synergy
help
there.
them against the Death Wall.
And they also need the, like, Beastmaster versus Sigil kind of evens it out. Like,
Yeah, it's
you
true.
see some heroes are actually useless versus Sigil, but Beastmaster can pull them back.
Pretty quiet game though. Only 3 kills in about 10 minutes. Everybody happy, just sitting back, farming
It's
away.
destined to speed up, though.
Oh,
There's, no way around that.
How's the progress towards the mech on the Shadow Fiend? He's got to be pretty close to it at this point. Oh no,
I
maybe
think he
not.
has a
a lot of
buckler on
seals.
him.
Is it on the courier? All right, he's got a buckler
Yeah, and a
headdress.
headdress.
Okay,
recipe.
he's getting there.
Yeah, he's got it like minute 11, I think, maybe minute 12. Yeah, probably minute 12.
Arcane Boots
what?
Bounty Hunter.
He can't be going Midas. You can't be serious. I really don't think he can go Midas on Spirit Breaker. This is not the game where you can afford that. Oh, they're actually gonna
They might find maybe
charge
here.
maybe. He's completely alone.
He does get the bounty rune. He's got a friend nearby. Tusk comes in. FY takes decent damage off
nice
this. The raise gets him. Now we're relocating. LGD in some trouble as the Shadow Fiend gets popped. Now Yao trying to get aggressive here. Nice silence from Sylar, but it's just not enough. Tiny going man mode. Sorry, that's the Spirit Breaker, but wow, great rotations from LGD. It'll end as a 1-for-2 trade with Vici on the back foot.
Vici are very happy here for that. They're very happy about that. Killing this SF
Okay.
is really, really big. Ice dying obviously gives a lot. You see the XP change and gold change favoring LGD, but there were 5 heroes there.
Yeah.
Whisper Tiny, they went back. Oh, they're actually going to go in again.
They want Yao. Shallow Grave comes out. Can Yao actually survive here? Tiny wants it. Minions will chase him down. Psylocke TP's in. Toss onto Xiao 8. Snowball across. How setting up the kills.
Wow. They got so much value out of Tusk there. He was dead, but jumps back in, stuns too, ice shards too as well.
I meant to say Yao, but Hao and Yao are just too close in the heat of the moment.
How good is Sigil is level 1?
Really good.
I think it's a value point.
20%,
Yeah, it is.
10%.
The scaling of that.
It scales well, but level 1 is
at that.
definitely good. Bashes onto maybe. There's another Wisp Tiny combo. They pop the Shadow Fiend once again.
That's level 6 for Bounty. That's really important.
Big kill there.
This is when it starts. It has the potential to get out of control, but I think did maybe manage to grab his mech there because he got one of the kills mid. I think he has it.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it's not that bad for LGD then. Like this is the biggest item for their lineup in the first at least 20 minutes. That mech is absolutely crucial.
Holding number 1 on net worth. MMY might not be so lucky.
Oh,
How?
no, they
Can't
missed.
quite punch him. Ooh.
In the old patch, that could have worked.
Would that have, would that actually? I feel like there still was like a limit in the old patch.
Maybe that would not work. Oh, I sure it's not gonna.
Good old 700 melee attacks.
But now, what is the miss range? I think it's
350?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
350.
Nice.
So that would have like no chance for working in this patch. But close call. But again, like Vici, they actually decided to speed this game up before. Like they don't give LGD a chance to group up. Like, but now they're 4-man mid. Don't have Visage Burst though. But
Another interesting stat here. This is Fenrir's first time playing Wisp in 2015.
oh yeah, I actually didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That is Fenrir Wisp.
Yeah, they changed it around.
Yeah.
I
Seems to be
wonder-
doing fine.
Yeah, it's just an interesting change. I guess FY wanted the bounty hunter this time.
Look at
Oh my!
Value.
All right, well Dazzle heals him up, but still, yeah, that's nice.
They
get
traded
the
tower here.
They get the deny. Nope, Joe gets the last hit. Tiny gets the hit on the other tower in the top lane.
And they're
They might
pushing
get bot
bottom.
too.
Oh, it'll be a
So
2
now-
for 1 for Vici.
You're
Now
really
they're
happy with
trying
this
to-
for Vici, I think.
They're trying to split them up.
Yeah.
He actually did go Midas. I do not agree with that. It was really good. But what Vici are doing right now is making LGD think a lot. Like they have to be really careful about what they do here.
They're starting to converge. Looks like the tower down bottom will stay standing for now. I think
Forward
Spirit Breaker
checks.
pulled a Creep wave off. Tiny with a stun on 2. Dazzle doing a lot of sustainability here.
I like the poking they're doing. No, they're actually going to go in. They catch him with the ice shards. Punch as well. Wisp should be dead. Goes down. Roar on maybe as well. X is coming through on 3 heroes. Dazzle might fall after, but the mech heals him back up.
Nice grave.
And the pigs are going to die.
Oh, they're going to go back in. Big stun toss.
Whoa, big damage. Tiny goes down, but they traded for the Shadow Fiend. Now the charge across, super in deep. They'll be able to finish off the Dazzle, but a gust from Sylar. It's a chaotic fight here in the mid lane. Who's going to find the better of it? Nether Strike from across the side will finish off the Visage. Yao and Sylar just trying to make the escape. Ice Shards almost clip him, but the Space Cow makes it out. Oh, lots of close calls here, but it's Vici to take this fight.
It's such an incredibly well-played fight from Vici, in my opinion. Like the way they kite them around, they set up the fight. They actually willingly took a 4-on-5 for a good 20 seconds, just expecting that they could slowly harass them down, get any sort of opening at one point, and then bring down one target after the other. Killing the Shadow Fiend there obviously got Tiny killed to the Death Requiem, but easily worth it for the payoff with track kills.
You see what's happening, like the Shuriken bounce and the toss is coming in, trying to force out these mechs, so that when Tiny went in for the round 2 and with the Roar, all of that stuff was on cooldown. Yeah. Tiny went in on the Dazzle to force the Grave, so when you could go back in, all this stuff, like it was really well played fight. This is what they have to do to like really control the game right now, though, is to try and take these fights now. They can't give Vici what they want. Okay, birds are up now, though. But this makes it a lot harder. But that was a lot of money going into Vici's pocket.
There's the mech popped. And again, Vici just split pushing around. They'll lose the tier 1 in the bottom lane, but they get the tier 1 mid.
And Beast is really good at split pushing. This is another benefit of the pick here for Vici Gaming, is he's got an Necro book, which is a lot better now than it used to be on level 1. He can take the tier 2 while the rest of LGD are doing this. And all these tracks just give so much information to Vici. They don't need to be scared in the same way as you usually would with split pushing, because they know who's porting away and when they are. So
charge is coming.
Just trade sides. If the track is on Tusk, who's going to TP in and do anything, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So they will hand over the tier 2 bottom lane. They don't get... okay, they get the tier 2 top, still even trades.
Damage on the mid tower, too. So, not really even.
Like, that's good enough if you're Vici, I think.
Yeah. Although all the items that LGD are getting right now still have more value than Vici's, because the items on Bounty Hunter and Spirit Breaker, they don't go into the same stuff as LGD. LGD has still get more damage out of every item they get. Every tank item they get more damage, because Drow is a very strong hero.
What's this? He's getting Vlad's Spirit Breaker.
Still can't get used to that headdress change, man.
Yeah, they need to rack up that AoE armor. I agree 100% with this pickup. Maybe it shouldn't be the Spirit Breaker getting it, but someone has to do it.
It should be the Wisp for him, and I don't think Wisp can.
What does he have on Wisp? Cloak, or he's probably getting Glimmer Cave.
Somebody has to have a Basti though, right?
He has an
SB just bought one.
Right, with the Vlads, of course. But nobody had a Basti for the last fight.
Correct.
Isn't it more important that Wisp gets a mech, though? I mean, if they're worried about winning team fight at some point.
I just don't think he feels like he can afford it.
You can't really get it in almost always games, like, at a good timing.
Wow, that's a good timing on the Aghanim. 16 minutes. With drums before that, pretty solid. They revealed the smoke on an illusion.
That was a good bait. He sat far enough away that the smoke would break, that they would think that it was the illusion when in reality it was fake. That was really well done by FY.
Oh, this is Vici, I think, are outskilling them by a small margin. But yeah, it's definitely high level Dota we're watching right here. It's very nice to see all these small things. Tusk picked up and dropped.
Oh, they're relocate. Here they go.
Wow. The moment, it just takes 2 seconds of Shadow Fiend being away from his team, and they just seize the opportunity instantly.
Look at the other 4, they're just completely clumped together.
They're gonna go for more
they're
now.
in trouble now, maybe.
I like the movement speed. Oh, the charge is coming through. They've got to stop this.
Nice.
Maybe he's already dead.
Great bird drop.
What happened with the birds? They're like above ground.
Oh, you know.
Graphics bugged out, yeah. There's one. Can they get the other?
Yeah, I think
This ruins the 5-man a lot too, killing these birds. The 5-man becomes so much weaker.
He just resummoned at least, but...
Yeah, he's resummoned now.
Ooh, can they take Roshan time? I think they do a medallion, right? Yeah, they do.
Who has it, actually?
Bounty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went back for the mana boost and medallion, just a casual null talisman. I wonder what he's gonna go, because it's always interesting to see what bounty hunters pick up.
Yeah.
Because it could be so many things.
You mentioned Soul Ring earlier. Do you like the arcane boots better?
I see that he does it. I think he does it mostly for his team, because for me it's better. I feel better playing bounty hunter with the Soul Ring. It's a greedier item, but it makes you can give something back to your team too if you're able to crush the fights. Oh, the smoke is too late.
Right. Well, easy Roche for Vici, but smoke from LGD revealed by FY. They put a sentry down, but they can't quite find him. Ice shards will be off the mark.
He is playing them so hard this game on that bounty hunter. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah.
First, he owns bottom lane with a double kill. He snipes the courier. He forces rotations twice. Now he's broken 2 smokes single-handedly. Kept all the information in every single fight for it to not break out. Like this is how you play bounty hunter.
And he's forced out a lot of sentries without having to feed away his
that's
life.
another thing.
It's very impressive.
So the death ball goes mid. The rest of Vici Gaming is going to go split. Even FY cutting the creep wave by himself.
And there's one thing we haven't talked about at all, actually, which is in the new version, Bounty Hunter track, you can actually see how much gold the targets have.
Oh, yeah.
It's an extra layer of information that's really nice when you're playing against a timing lineup like LGD, so that you can get an idea of how close they are to hitting their peak. Right. So they see the mech, maybe the next key item they're looking for is when does Drow have her follow-up to Yasha, which could either be a BKB or a Manta, or
knowing about buyback.
Maybe an SNY and buyback.
Transfer though.
Okay.
All right, he's going to die for that one. Maybe? Yeah, he's surely dead, right?
He's gonna... Okay. Didn't
try.
force a sentry.
But good courier snipe once again.
It's like getting a tower, which is good if you're against a 5-man lineup, because then you have more gold to team fight them.
I think LGD are like 10,000 gold behind now.
Oh, you can take a look at the graphic. Wow.
You're amazing. Wow.
Good math.
The Midas on Spirit Breaker is now paying off, though. Luckily, they split pushed well enough that he's now getting good item accumulation.
So it's a high-risk, high-reward pickup.
Yeah,
I agree with No Tail. I wouldn't have preferred that item either, but now that they got away with it, it's going to take them. It's going to give them a good shot at taking the game late enough. Because I don't think Vici Gaming are looking to like high ground, say minute 30. I think they're going to need to get past the timing window where LGD's lineup is the scariest, and get a couple of key items like No Tail talked about. Get a Kiras for sure. Get a Solar Crest probably if they can on the Bounty Hunter, and then maybe with the Aegis they can have. That's probably going to be the second Aegis in that case. They can have the time.
I mean, in all fairness, I might be looking at it wrong too. There's certain heroes that can actually benefit from the Midas itself to make it so worth it, like Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Lifestealer Midas is like not just for farming, it's also for your feast and for fighting. So knowing that Midas is not as useless as it is on like a Morphling or a Chaos Knight or whatever.
Yeah. It's not just for the farm, it also gives you attack speed that's benefited from your skills. Roar on Zhao 8.
Important target. He's gonna snowball.
Oh, nice.
Beautifully done.
Where's he going though? Onto the creeps. Oh, yep.
Yep.
Zhao 8
forward.
Mech as well. He's going to stay alive. Burn's broken. ISS running for his life, but he can re-engage in a second.
They're losing access. Oh my god.
They've already lost the tier 3 tower. Now LGD trying to retreat. They'll get caught out. Yao going to be the first to go down. It looks like MMY caught by the Nether Strike. He'll actually be the first casualty of war. They repel the barracks down bottom, but they lose a tier 3 and take a 2-0 loss.
Vici Gaming's doing this so well.
Oh, they might be going back in. Is he bringing
he
the
doesn't
tiny?
have charge. Or he doesn't have his ult. There's no way.
Wow, that was brilliantly executed by Vici.
Now they actually nullified the birds with this Crimson pickup.
Solar Crest on the Bounty Hunter, and it looks like a Crimson, coming for Ice.
Yeah,
And Salt Karas around the corner. This is just getting out of control.
I don't even think SF has max levels in the minus armor yet. So they're gonna have he does.
To me, so
3 out of 4,
so far this game is the most standout performance from any team we've seen in the tournament.
I agree. They're playing
This
so
is
well.
actually phenomenal play from Vici Gaming all around.
It's like they have map
really
packs.
beautiful to
They're
watch.
playing it so correctly. Yeah.
Well, they kind of do. They've got charge and track. They've got a hell of a lot of vision.
And Hawk.
And Hawk, yeah, that too.
Just need a Night Stalker with Octarine core and you're good to go.
Do you feel like it's really good, the Octarine thing?
It depends on, like, strategically you could always argue like getting this E-Blade or Glimmer Cape. You could get the Hex, but in all honesty, if you have a Hex on your team, a Night Stalker has the option to get the Octarine core. Octarine core leaves 9 seconds downtime on your nighttime. So if you're picking Night Stalker to ruin initiation, why not get Octarine core for perma night? It depends on, is there some slots that you need to fill out? Are they going in?
Yeah, they are. Sylar actually takes a primal war.
Oh, no.
Out of the
Pulling him out of
base.
position.
Oh, Tusk, high risk, high reward. And this time, well, it's pretty risky. Yao.
He's okay for now. There's the slow though.
Why?
Bottom lane as well at the same time.
They're trying to repel this push. Barracks are still standing. Tiny going for The melee barracks, he'll get it.
So they're doing a great job splitting LGD up. They don't want to do a 3-man push and a 2-man on the other side. Slow and Ice. He might go down. Soul Assumption's going to put him low. He lives.
Now the rest
More
of
tracks.
LGD, do they want to push out of the base here? They need to be careful. Right back to it. How the Whomping Willow goes for the ranged barracks down here in the bottom lane.
Oh, it's backdoor, I guess.
Good timing.
Wow, that's fortunate.
What does Dazzle do to stop that? Does he even have Poison Touch? It won't even do anything.
I don't think he does. Nope.
I mean,
Pure defensive.
You need like 4 points in that skill before it actually becomes really good. I think everything before that is just kind of bad.
Oh, it's actually so sad and funny at the same time. This SF standing next to the racks. Look at me, you know. Come on, guys. Look at hit me, you know. Just stop hitting the building, man. They didn't care.
And then he uses a Requiem that deals like 300 damage.
Stop hitting my building, man.
BOTs and this for the Beastmaster, and now a Blink for Super as well.
Vici are using their lineup so well. They're actually using the heroes they're dealt. The way they can use the global map, many teams will probably look to just 5-man straight up because we're stronger, Heady Day. They forced the Dazzle Shadow King bottom, and look what that matchup did to Wisp Tiny. They couldn't do anything. So Vici were left to 3v3 on top. And what can they do 3v3 top? Like, they also win that matchup. So they're actually using the heroes they're dealt with, like, to the perfect extent. They're not messing around here.
Oh, Blink Dagger now on the Bounty Hunter. Interesting.
It's so good.
It's a really
you know,
good
if they dust you, you're like, okay, I'm gone. You blink away. Force them to blink after you. A lot of the supports can't chase that. So
there's also that you get the track in with you get the track in, you reveal yourself.
you can snipe couriers easier. Like there's so many good ways that it keeps you alive. You can initiate instantly instead of having to walk in and chance gem.
20k gold.
Well,
14K
LGD know
XP.
what's up. I think this is the right call.
The YOLO
they
smoke?
can't keep playing the way they've played so far. They have to just try for it. And it's an all-in that has a very low chance of working, but if they keep playing the same way, they're ultimately just going to get torn apart.
I mean, Hal just goes straight for the mid lane himself. He's already on the high ground. Radiant Glyph comes out. Now the Dire.
They're gonna get a Rax.
They'll
I
lose
think.
their tier 3.
Here comes Charge. On Dazzle, 4-man charge, running away after.
They're just trying to make space. I mean, I think they're going for tier 4s in the base. They are. They're going for the win here. Forget about the barracks. They know LGD's all in.
I mean, LG is going to go for it too, and they have a drought, so their heroes are hitting really hard. But can they beat a Tiny? I think they got a building already. One building down. There's another charge slowing them down.
This is surprisingly close right now, given how far ahead LGD, or pardon me, Vici are. Snowball forward. They can't focus the
Are they
structures.
going on Rex? I think they're throning it.
Yeah, they are. Thrown down to about half health. Still a tier 4 tower standing on the Dire side. Radiant
charges
Heroes getting
again.
low. Oh my god, the entire team can be charged here. Radiant with a big Requiem. It cleans up 3 on the Dire
But they
side.
got it fed.
Buybacks are plenty, but it doesn't matter.
So they won the fight, but they couldn't stop that throne from happening. That was pretty exciting.
That was a surprisingly epic ending to that game. That was looking one-sided.
How about Ice, though? How many charges did he get up that stunned 4 heroes on the enemy team? Like, that's exactly what he needed
3
to
at
do.
the end right there.
It's, what, 12-second cooldown after you connect with it, so he would charge in and run